and has said publicly that he's a proud gun owner and is concerned about additional crackdowns on the gun laws. Now, 38 revolvers, I don't think would be within the scope of any new laws, right, Lars? Because they're looking at more assault-type weapons, not sort of personal home protection.
Except for this. Remember this, Donnie Herman's wife, whose name is still being withheld by the police, and I think that's prudent. She's a very brave woman, and she did exactly the right thing. The problem is she was confronting one intruder. If she'd been confronting three, she ran out of bullets on the one intruder, and he was still able to get up, go out to the driveway, and drive his car away. If she'd been confronting three people, she would have been out of bullets way too early. And that's one reason why most people, including most police officers and most people who care about protecting their homes, want a gun that is capable of holding more than that and capable of reloading very quickly. This is what the president's plan will go after. And if you take the Feinstein proposal, which you can see on the senator's website, she would actually say that if you have a gun that holds more than 10 bullets, you are not allowed to buy one after her plan passes. You're not allowed to sell it. You're not allowed to transfer it to a family member or a friend. You're not allowed to leave it to your children after you're gone. This is the kind of implication it has for American families to take away the right to own the kind of gun that they need to protect their home. This woman was very fortunate and very courageous, but this president wants to take away people's rights to own the appropriate tool to repel an invader or invader into their houses.
That's a fascinating point. I hadn't really considered that. I mean, it was stunning to me that the guy's expected to be okay, even though 5 of the 6 bullets hit him, and a 38, that's not like the tiny lady's revolver, right? I mean, that's a substantial gun. So it is pretty amazing that he lived through that. You raise an interesting point about had there been a second intruder. Because, you know, if you're not sort of in, like, the gun rights world, you think, all right, 6 bullets, that ought to do it.
Well, Megan, here's the problem. Too many people who are not familiar with firearms, unlike us, who the folks like me that go to the range all the time, they watch a movie and they say 1 bullet will make the intruder fly backward 50 feet and be completely incapacitated or dead. That's not the way it happens. When I've taken Citizens Academy courses from the local police departments, they'll point out that officers will tell you you can put a lot of bullets in a bad guy and he will keep coming at you. That's why they teach officers, shoot till the threat is gone. This woman did exactly what she should do. She fired at center of mass. She apparently punched his lungs, his stomach, his liver. That's what he's in the hospital being treated for now. And he still had the capacity to get up, go back outside, and drive a car down the street.
What do you make of it, Lars? Is there any limit on, you know, magazines, on ammunition that you could get behind?
The limits on magazines are silly. In fact, there's some great videos that with gun experts who show that if somebody has 5 10-round magazines, the time to change from magazine to magazine is very short, which means putting a limit on it 10 or 15 or whatever number you want to pick really isn't meaningful. Somebody can change those magazines very quickly. I have a feeling that what the president would like to do and what Senator Feinstein would like to do is have a bill that initially puts limits on specific guns and says you can't own them, you can't buy them, you can't sell them, you can't inherit them. And then down the line, they will add more guns to that list, they will add more limitations, and Americans will eventually be stripped of their right to own firearms at all in any practical way. They'll also go after ammunition, so be aware of that. This woman is a perfect example of why if you want to protect your home, you might need more than 6 bullets. She might have that day.
Well, I mean, of course, the president, you heard it in that soundbite, has said he's not going to go after your guns. He just wants sensible gun laws. And as I said, you know, it's going to come down to
Megan,
what that means.
His lips were moving. He was lying.
Well, we know where Lars stands on the issue.
If his lips were moving, he was lying.
But we'll see, because there are a lot of Americans who support broad, robust gun rights in this country. And so even politically, there's a question about just how far they could go with this. Lars, thanks for being here. I got to run.
Thank you, Megan.